What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos, and if y'all like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all, guess what time it is? It's pickups time. I've accumulated a nice little pile of video games, some new hardware, new handhelds, and video game related items. So let's get into it. Here's the stuff that I picked up, the games and things that I picked up throughout January and February of 2024. First up is a video game related item. Now, for Christmas, my son did purchase as a present. He gave me my first vinyl, my first record. And it was awesome because it was a Whitney Houston record. Whitney, which is fantastic. If you guys don't know, I love me some Whitney Houston. That got me thinking about collecting my favorite albums of all time. And because my favorite albums definitely mean a bunch to me. So definitely I'm gonna do that. But I also went off down a rabbit hole where I was looking into video game vinyls, right? And it's crazy. I did end up seeing on sale a vinyl, and I purchased it. It's for Ratchet and Clank, A Rift Apart, which came out on the PlayStation 5. And I thought the music in the game was phenomenal. Really good music in Rift Apart. So yeah, this is my first video game vinyl, and I am stoked. This is the vinyl. Comes with two vinyls. They're both the same color, two sides on each vinyl. I'm really excited. I got a little list of the vinyls, video game vinyls that I want to purchase as well. And the first thing I guess I need to do is buy a record player. As far as video games go, I did purchase some games for, of course, the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X. So first up here, I'm going to share with you Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. So Don't Nod developed this game, and it's published by Focus Entertainment. It's basically an action RPG, and you start off as a pair of Banishers, and Banishers are basically like ghost hunters, right? It takes place in like the late 1600s, and like I mentioned, it is an action RPG. The combat isn't the best thing about the game. Combat's a little sluggish, not the best, but I think what really drew me in was definitely the narrative. I mean, you're basically going around banishing ghosts. You're a ghost hunter trying to figure out what's going on, the overall mystery of the game. You're trying to figure that out, and you're basically investigating the areas that you're in. You go through different investigations, and I really enjoyed that. It does feel a little bit like the Plague Tale games, so if you like those games, I'm pretty sure you'll like this. But yeah, like I said, I am surprised that a lot of people aren't talking about this game. It's really good so far, and I definitely plan on playing more of it. I streamed a little bit of it, and I definitely plan on going back to it. Of course, we have here Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Absolutely adore this game. One of my favorite games of the year so far. I knew that was going to be the case. I'm almost done with the game now. I just reached chapter 12, and I believe there's 14 chapters in the game. This game is going places. The narrative is going places. And I definitely want to see what happens next, but I'm a little anxious because I know something bad's going to happen, and I just don't want to see that happen. I don't want to talk too much about this game because I already spent my time talking about it in one of my latest videos where I was talking about the games that I'm currently playing. Yeah, I still love this game. There's so much to do, and once I see the credits roll, I definitely am going to go back in and finish everything up, and that will be the first time that I've ever done that in one of these games, right? This is just too good for me to just let all that content sit there. So I definitely want to go through all the side stories and do all that great stuff, level up all my characters, do everything that I possibly can, just because I enjoy this world and the characters so much. A couple of weeks ago on a Sunday morning, I was just scrolling on Twitter. I was about to, put the phone down and start reading because my husband was still asleep. But I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw that GameStop was having a sale. So I'm like, all right, let me see what's on sale. Let me see what I can get, what the prices are. And they had some really good prices for some games that I wanted to add into my collection. So I got 3 games from this GameStop sale. First up is Chia. This is the OLED edition. Hopefully I said that right, but regardless, I picked up Chia for the PlayStation 5 from GameStop. Now it does say that it's new, but you know it's GameStop new. You know how they do us sometimes, guys. It has a sticker there. There's no plastic on here. It's GameStop new. And it also says that it's new for $34.99, but I'm gonna look over because I tweeted the prices out. I paid $12.99 for this, GameStop new, right? I no longer have PlayStation Plus. I decided I was gonna get rid of it because I really wasn't taking advantage of it, right? But I did download this when I had PlayStation Plus, and I played it and I enjoyed it. Now I didn't complete it, but I enjoyed what I played of it. Enough for me to say, you know what, let me add this to my collection. It's basically an open world adventure game, but the whole concept of it, if I'm not mistaken, the main character can like transform. If she sees a crab, she can transform into a crab and basically take advantage of those abilities. And that was really different. It's a bright, colorful, like vibrant world. And like I said, I enjoyed my time with it. And I think it deserves to be in my PlayStation 5 collection. Celeste was also a part of that sale. It says $34.99 new, but I did get this on sale for $12.99 as well. Now this one I played through and completed, saw the credits roll, and absolutely loved it. It's a balls to the wall, hard platforming game that definitely, as I can recall, made me want to throw my Switch at the wall several times. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved the overall story of it, and the meaning behind it was really good. Definitely want to recommend it to everyone out there. I also think that it is hard, but I believe that they put out like an easy, I don't want to say it's easy, but a less difficult mode for you to play through, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe there's some accessibility options that you could put in there to make things not as frustrating. But yeah, I definitely want to touch this again, pop the card in, because I bought it digitally, but pop the card in and revisit it. You know, there's also harder, once you beat the game, I believe there's like a side B or something like that with more levels to play through that are extremely hard, and I didn't do that the first time around. So yeah, Celeste, definitely. I mean, it's about time. I have a list of games that I have digitally and I'd like to add to my collection, and this has been on there for a while, and I'm glad I got it for such a low price. And then the last game that I got from that GameStop sale is also GameStop new. It says $27.99, but I believe, let me look, it was $8.99. I got this for $8.99 off that GameStop sale. It's Return to Monkey Island, which seems to be a classic. Everyone seems to love, people that enjoy point and click adventure games seem to love the Monkey Island series. I never played them back in the day. Just wasn't my bag, wasn't into it. But I have played a few point and click adventure games, which makes me believe that I need to definitely check this series out. So yeah, Return to Monkey Island. In the beginning of the year, I did pick up World of Horror for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know if World of Horror is gonna be my bag, but it looks super interesting. And I had no clue that it was like, there was like a retail version. It was sitting there at Best Buy when I was at Best Buy, and I picked it up. This is like a roguelite RPG that is, it's a horror game, right? And that just sounds so fascinating to me. I believe it takes place in the 80s, and it has this really cool, like retro art style, all black and white. It just looks super cool. So I'm going to give this a run for its money in October. We're going to play through this and see if it's something that I'm into. But I'm definitely intrigued by the whole concept of World of Horror. Definitely different, and I'm all into games that are, you know, a little outside the box. I don't typically import games, but in January I went on to Play Asia, and I ended up purchasing 2 games from Play Asia, and now there are a couple more that I want to get sometime down the line. But I won't talk too much about these games just because I haven't played. Well, one I did play, I have played before, but the other one I have it. So first up, it's the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection. I did get this off of PlayAsia, like I said. I think this is fantastic. Having a collection of some classic games. Now, I don't know if all of them are classic, but having all of the retro Final Fantasy games, 1 through 6 on one cart, I believe it's one cart, is amazing. Out of the 6 Final Fantasies on this cart, I have only played 2. I played the original Final Fantasy, never beat it, didn't want to have anything to do with it back in the day. I did play it though, but I have played through and completed Final Fantasy VI, and it's fantastic. So yeah, I'll get around to these games sometime. When? I don't know, but the fact that we have 6 retro Final Fantasy games on a Nintendo Switch cart with, upgraded graphics and soundtrack and better AI or UI, sorry. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll take it. And then Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective, one of my favorite Nintendo DS games. Yes, I purchased it on the Nintendo Switch. Because it's so fantastic. I don't mind having the DS version and the Switch version. This is basically the remaster. I believe it's a remaster. It's not a remake. But this is a great game. I highly recommend it for anyone that's into, basically point and click adventures. Great characters, great writing, just amazing point and click adventure that you should definitely check out if you haven't done so already on the Nintendo DS. I'm curious to see how it looks on the Switch, but I'm sure it looks great because it looked perfect on the DS. So yeah, look forward to replaying this classic DS game sometime in the near future. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown was great. I played through this, completed it, and loved every moment that I played. Now, as far as the narrative goes, I didn't really care for it. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. You play as, spoiler, someone who is not the Prince of Persia. Just so you know, you're not playing as the Prince of Persia. That blew my mind. But no, it definitely was a good time. Runs buttery smooth on the Nintendo Switch. Difficult, you do have some parts in the game that can be a little difficult as far as the puzzle solving goes. But traversing through the environments, just so smooth. And the combat is just fantastic. Some really good boss battles in here. It's just a fantastic Metroidvania. I can say that honestly. It's a really good one of those. And if you're into Metroidvanias, then you should definitely give this one a look if you haven't already. I did pick up the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy, which is super exciting because, come on, these games are everything. The 3 games that are included in this trilogy are the original Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Then you have Dual Destinies, which is fantastic. That's my favorite one out of this trilogy. And then there's also Spirit of Justice. I've played through all of these games prior, and I wasn't like chomping at the bit. I'm not chomping at the bit right now to go and replay these games, but I did want to show my support because these games are fantastic. Now, I currently am playing Great Ace Attorney, and I'm loving it to pieces. Got back into that and I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, if you are interested in visual novels, because you're gonna be reading a lot, and basically murder cases, solving murder cases in a lighthearted type of way, and just crazy characters, great writing, fantastic animations, good music, soundtrack. This is where it's at. These games are great. Another Code Recollection. This is another game that I talked about, one of my most anticipated games of 2024. It came out, and crazy enough, I haven't completed this yet. I'm almost done with the first game, Trace Memory. I'm almost done with that. Kind of taking my time. One thing I realized is that nostalgia sometimes isn't the best thing. Now, I remember loving this game, Trace Memory, the first game in this collection. I remember loving Trace Memory on the Nintendo DS. I thought it was revolutionary at the time, just the way that the game played, the way that you solved different puzzles, and that doesn't necessarily translate all that well to this collection. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not what I remembered. But I do want to go back, solve this mystery. Where's Ashley's dad? I need to know what's going down. What happened? Need to uncover these memories and see what's up. And I definitely want to get into the second game because that one wasn't released over here and I want to see how that plays out. So yeah, another code, Recollection, isn't everything that I thought it was going to be, but it's definitely not terrible and I will complete it because like I said, I want to know what happens next. And the last game that I want to share with you, it's Mario versus Donkey Kong. Overall, this was a good time. Definitely was a good time. I had fun with it. Love the way it looks. It's nice and bright, especially on the OLED screen for the Nintendo Switch. It's nice and bright. Puzzle platformer. Donkey Kong is definitely back to his antics. It's a remake, I believe. Yeah, I think it is a remake of the original Mario versus Donkey Kong game that came out on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, it's so much fun. It was eight levels that I played through. You complete it, and then you have your final encounter with Donkey Kong, and that was a cool little boss moment there. And then the credits roll, and then it immediately tells you that you can do time attack mode now, and then you can also there's harder levels, right? So I was like, cool, sign me up. And then I realized that it had this first level of this hard world had the mini Marios in it. And that's the one thing that I don't like about this game, are the levels with the little mini Marios where you have to collect the T, the O, and the Y in order to open the chest. Oh my gosh, it's a pain in the butt. Now those levels didn't hinder my enjoyment of the overall game, but I've just never liked those little mini Mario. Like, I think it was like Mario versus Donkey Kong. It was like March of the Minis or something like that. Ugh, I despise that game. Just not my cup of tea when it comes to a puzzle platformer, right? There's typically only, in the first worlds, the first 8 worlds, there's only one level each world that has a little mini Marios in it, and I was able to stomach it. But once I finished the game and saw the credits roll and that new world came in, and I saw that little mini Mario, said, I'm not dealing with it. Nope, not doing it. I appreciate you sticking around. We're almost done with the video. I have 2 new handhelds to share with you, right? So, in January, like I said, I was with my son at Best Buy and we were just, walking throughout the store, and I saw a ROG Ally there and I was like, oh, this is cool. Of course the bright lights caught my attention and I messed around with it for a bit because there was a display unit there. So I messed around with it for a bit. Then beginning of February, my girl Miss Swag here on YouTube and on Twitch and on TikTok, she sends me a text asking me about, hey, did you see they dropped the price basically on the ROG Ally at Best Buy? And I was like, what? So I'm streaming and we're chatting about it, and I'll be damned, when I got off that stream, I went ahead and bought myself a damn ROG Ally, y'all. I purchased a ROG Ally. Whew, my gosh, I love this thing. I really do. This is my portable Xbox. I don't need this, but I don't need anything that I get, right? I really didn't need a ROG Ally, right? But I love it. I'm enjoying it. I have a Steam Deck. I have a Switch. Y'all know I love my handhelds. This thing is great. It's my portable Xbox. It honestly is. Xbox has their whole cloud gaming thing going on through Game Pass, and it makes it really easy to play games on other devices, which I totally appreciate. You can't easily do that on a Steam Deck, right? And then you can also remote play Xbox games on this. I need to see if I can go in and kind of tweak my settings for remote play, because I didn't necessarily like the lag in remote play on the Ally, but just playing Game Pass games on this thing, it's been my go-to. I turn it on every day and I play something, and I love that. Just being able to have my Xbox in the palm of my hands, it's great. Last but not least, I did get myself an analog pocket. I kind of hinted at this in my last pickups video, I talked about me possibly having something coming soon that would allow me to play my Game Boy collection. And I have a nice size Game Boy collection, right? That includes original Game Boy cards, Game Boy Color, not too many Game Boy Color cards, but Game Boy Advance, right? And the analog pocket lets me do that. I ended up getting a white analog pocket. I just thought it was a little crispier than the black one. It's a beautiful looking handheld, y'all. It takes me back every time I play it. It makes me think about when I was a kid again. Definitely has that original Game Boy factor or form factor to it. It's great. The convenience is everything for the analog pocket. Being able to play original Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance cards on this one little device and have it look so sleek and smooth and beautiful is a plus for sure. I've been randomly diving into especially the Game Boy collection, definitely checking out some old Game Boy games, and that has been a blast. Again, taking me down, I'm going right back down memory lane. But this is great. I'm so glad that I finally bit the bullet and I purchased the pocket. Great piece of hardware. I did do a little short here on YouTube where I unboxed my analog pocket, so definitely check that out if you didn't. But if you're interested in me talking more about either the ROG Ally or the analog pocket, let me know and I'll do a dedicated video. Just know that right now I'm loving both pieces of hardware. Really good time with these new handhelds. That took a while, but we made it to the end. Thank you so much for sticking through it. That's everything that I picked up throughout January and February of 2024. Let me know what you picked up throughout January and February in the comment box below. I'm going to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.